Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, February 19th, 2019. This is Jennifer. I'm a little bit hoarse today. I came home from my long weekend with a sore throat and I've been fighting off whatever the crud is ever since, so I apologize for that. Right off the top, I want to say I finally am wearing red for Jaxon. I will have information in the description about that. Jaxon is the grandson of Anita, also known as Queen of Creative, who is also a Talk to Me Tuesdayer. So like I said, more information in the description. I had a very big mail week last week. I received a big box of fabric from Alita. Everything inside of this bag was inside of the box, and Alita's just cleaning out her stash and sent me some stuff to use for Linus. I also received some really lovely orphan blocks. These came from Barbara. Barbara's in the Project of Doom group. She sent me a couple of fantastic beasts and then some just really lovely just orphan blocks. So these will go in my collection and eventually be turned into quilts for Linus. In other mail news, I now have all of the Talk to Me Tuesday swap jelly rolls. I have all the fabric. It's all here. So this is the week, guys. I will be sorting all those jelly rolls out and getting them back in the mail to you guys. I didn't really make anything last week, but because I only wanted to show you guys my Princess Bride quilt, I'm able to show you all the things that I did the week before. I did a little bit of paper piecing last week, but I have aggravated my repetitive stress to the point that I had to stop sewing for almost a week. So if you see me wearing my little RSI wrist brace, that is why. I did so much paper piecing that I had to just stop because I literally hurt myself doing it. So I took a break, and because I was going to be out of town, I knew that I just needed to not take anything with me to do for handwork, and so I just took it easy. I do have good show and tell because last week was my row. This is the Deep Space Nine row. That was for the Star Trek row along on Fandom and Stitches. We've got Wormhole Defiant, and then over here we have the actual space station, Deep Space Nine. And then I have two of the smaller Bajoran ships over here. I wanted to stick with those just because a lot of the story is about Bajor and I wanted to have Bajoran ships. But there's enough space in here so that if you don't like negative space the way I do, which I'm a big fan of negative space, I really wanted this to look like a large space scene. And if you've made the Project of Doom, you know there is negative space in there, and I do that on purpose because it draws your eye. You know, you see these really clearly because there's negative space there. But if you don't want negative space, you can put another ship in here. There's plenty of room for that. So I did leave that as an option. I also finally made more than just my planet for the original series row. I have everything made. I have my space station. I have the Planet Eater. I have my Enterprise over here. And the hole right here, these are the other two spaceships that I need to make, but I don't know if I'm going to paper piece this week. I might give myself another week off to let this finish healing. The other thing I did, and this was also paper piecing, I'd had the fabric pulled and I had it all planned for ages and I just hadn't gotten around to it. And then Vicky shared her signs with us from a couple weeks ago, maybe even longer now, but she did a fantasy themed one where she did different places from different stories. And my husband and I had talked about this. These are all places we've actually been. So these are from our last couple of holidays that we went on to the UK. And this is my pattern that you can find in Etsy. This is Signs, Signs, Signs. And the reason I call it that is not just because it comes this way. This is the original design. It's 3 blocks. So you have the base, the top block, and then the center block. And this center block you can turn upside down, and you can add as many as you want. So this can be as tall as you want it to. You can also eliminate the center one and have just the top one with the post. I'm probably going to do one that's the 7 Wonders of the Ancient World for my husband, who is also not just a software engineer, but super into archaeology and history. You could do places you've lived, places your friends lived, places you want to go. You could do your places, favorite places like Vicky did, favorite places from stories. So anyway, very versatile. I'm really happy to have this finished. I'm going to get it quilted, and it's going to hang on the back of our front door. Speaking of quilting, I did get a little bit done last week. This has not been trimmed, and I just had fun playing with this one. I didn't do flowers or anything super dense. It was meander with occasional swirls, and it was very fun, and it was just me having a little time to kind of think. I just needed a little bit of time to zen out, and so I can actually do this because my Qnique is so smooth. I can quilt left-handed, so I wasn't using my my sore wrist to do this, which was great. But I think that's all that I have to share for today. What I have to share for next week is a question mark, because I am going to try to keep taking it easy on my wrist. There is not a new Star Trek row this week. There will be one next week because it is every other week. And if you're paying attention, you know what the next one is going to be, because we're doing them in order, so it's not too hard to figure out. Anyway, that is all for me, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a crafty week. I'm gonna go drink some water. I'll see you next week. Bye.